What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. Mine's going so far so good. A little quick note about yesterday's video. It has been blocked. It was from the 68 comeback special. And so that's the second video I've done from the 68 comeback special that's been blocked. So I'm going to hold off on doing any 68 comeback special things for a while. It's just, I don't know, every time I do one, they get blocked. So I'm just going to focus on other things instead of the 68 comeback special. I know there's some awesome performances in there, but I'll try to sprinkle them in every now and then. But anyway, just a little word on that on yesterday's video. I do want to say thank everybody for liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. Love your comments. Love the comments section. It's just great. A lot of interaction there, and I really do appreciate that. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, there are links in the description down below. And which is a perfect time to say thank you to my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for all of your support. It really means a lot to me and lets me know that maybe what I'm doing other people like a little bit. So I do want to say that for this channel, I would like to get up, to 500 subscribers and beyond. On the last channel, when I hit 500 subscribers, I gave a laser engraved wooden plaque away. And on this channel, when I hit 500 subscribers, if I hit 500 subscribers, so y'all got to help me out. You got to click that subscribe button. It only takes a couple of seconds. But for that, I'm going to give away this coaster set that I'm currently working on. I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish it, but we're nowhere near 500 subscribers, so should be good to go there. All right, now that all that's out of the way, originally I was going to do another Gates of Graceland video, but while I was looking for that one, I came across this and I found this pretty interesting. So it's dated April the 3rd of 1981. It's ABC Nightline News, and I believe, according to them, this is the very first time that TV cameras were allowed inside Graceland. So this is what, almost 4 years after Elvis passed away. They said it, and here you're going to hear, I listened to like the first minute or so of it. When they started talking to Sam Phillips, that's when I stopped it, just to make sure it was, good to go. But anyway, they say in here that it has been sealed up like a capsule, like a time capsule, since he passed away. It has not been opened to the public yet. But apparently we're going to get to go inside. So let's check this out before it was turned into a museum.
Nightline is going to focus this evening on one of the biggest show business phenomena ever to hit this country, whose first name alone is enough to provide instant recognition: Elvis. Actually, we're going to focus on his home in Memphis, Tennessee, a place called Graceland. On August 17th, 1977, the day before Elvis Presley's funeral, some 75,000 fans visited Graceland, just the estate. For obvious reasons, they weren't permitted in the house. The next day, August 18th, the estate was sealed off. Well, tonight, you're going to get a look inside the estate and the 18-room mansion. Here's Bob Brown.
After his death here at his Memphis home, August 16th, 1977, it soon became apparent that all of those facts hadn't said enough. They hadn't said much about the pain caused by the protective isolation in which celebrities must live, something we're all much more aware of today. Or about the torment caused by the painkillers, depressants, stimulants, the thousands of doses he was prescribed as he sought to regulate his life. Sam Phillips first recorded Elvis for the Sun record label in Memphis and was close to his career from beginning to end.
I just think it was very unfortunate that Elvis didn't get to push back and to love what he had given us all before he died. And I don't think he really got to do that like he should have. But I think if you could stay in contact with the people on the street, maybe not all over the country, taking too many guards, but in your hometown, man, you should never be entrapped or imprisoned. I don't care what you're doing or what you're in. It's not worth it.
In many ways, that wall of privacy has remained closely guarded even since Presley's death. There has never been a public glimpse inside Graceland Mansion, despite the obvious continuing interest of the crowds that flock to the grounds where Elvis and his family are buried. Around 1.3 million tourists per year now come to Memphis, compared to estimates of 10,000 a year before Elvis died. ABC's Nightline was invited to provide the first televised look at sections of the Graceland Mansion and grounds never seen publicly before.
I think he felt safe in this house, and this house was a lot of good memories.
We went with Jerry Schilling, who was a personal aide and close friend to Elvis, and Joe Esposito, who helped manage Elvis's financial affairs for 18 years. We were not allowed access to the second-story room where he died, but we were taken through areas where a number of his personal effects remain just as they were when he lived here. His stage wardrobe, suits that cost more than $3,000 apiece.
This is about half of it, because over the years, he would always buy new ones. And the old ones they would give to charity and different organizations that they would auction off for charity groups.
What are these like?
Well, this, for example, I think you might find this interesting.
That's for sure.
Feel these, Bob. Just for weight purposes.
That's around 30, 40 pounds. Behind the mansion is this wing. It is a place to relax, simply furnished, with a whirlpool bath and a sauna upstairs. The building also houses a racquetball court, where friends say Elvis sometimes played alone during bouts of insomnia all night long, afterwards still requiring medication to sleep. At dawn, when he left the racquetball wing, he often walked by the pastures on the 14-acre estate where his horses still graze, including his Palomino, named Rising Sun. The horse is now 25. Elvis and his friends used to race their horses the length of this estate, but soon they began attracting large crowds and traffic jams as they raced toward the front near the highway, and they had to stop the horse races to help prevent traffic congestion. How much is all this worth now? A 1979 estimate valued the Graceland estate at $555,000, the clothing and furniture inside at $216,000. But the properties undoubtedly could bring millions. The first new car he ever bought, a 1955 pink Cadillac, is still parked behind the mansion, along with more formidable acquisitions such as this Stutz Blackhawk, valued at well over $50,000. The section of the mansion that probably would hold the most interest for fans is this wing. Elvis once put the world's largest slot car racing track in this room. Later, he held his wedding reception here. And finally, he made it his trophy room. Much of what is in here came from fans. Elvis kept practically every scrapbook he was sent in these drawers. He kept photos and letters and trophies from fans, and seemed to care as much about them as he did about the other symbols of success.
It got to a point where a gold record, I mean, it's great, but they would come in the mail to Elvis.
You'll look at one wall and you'll see two small Grammys, which were really representative of two gospel albums that he did. Never did he once get a Grammy for a rock and roll tune.
It's unlikely that the public will be allowed to view the interior of Graceland in the near future. The division of the estate is still being disputed between Elvis's heirs and his former manager, Colonel Tom Parker. But in the meantime, the estate is still generating income estimated at $1.2 million a year.
Wow. So there were some things in there that I didn't know. I didn't know there was a jacuzzi in the racquetball court. I didn't know that Parker was disputing the will, the trust or whatever. I had no idea about that. I never knew that, but I wouldn't put it past him because he was I don't even want to go there, but he was looking out for himself and that was it. And even after the man died, even after the man worked his butt off for Parker and everybody else on the payroll, even after he's dead, Parker's still trying to get a chunk of the. I honestly think Parker, in his mind, I think he thought he owned Elvis. Like, hey, I discovered him and I made him who he is, so I own him. Oh, don't even get me started on Parker. Anyway. So very unique looking, right? Before it was turned into a museum, before it was turned into an exhibit, that trophy room there, I believe now is, or when I went back in 2007, It was the Hall of Gold Records, not like it is here with the display cases and whatnot. There are actually different interviews, you know, whenever he would have a couple come in or whenever somebody would come over, a friend or whatever, he would show off this trophy room and walk people through it. Just hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff in there, and he just wanted to show it off because it was his stuff. He was proud of it. Proud of his accomplishments, proud of the things he was able to buy, gifts that were given to him. You did see the pink Cadillac there in the black Stutz, which we know he had a hell of a lot more cars than that, but I don't know where they were at this time. Probably scattered all over the place. California, Hawaii, Vegas, everywhere, right? Probably scattered all over the place. Let's see, what else is there that I saw that was kind of neat? Sam Phillips, very insightful look. He kind of almost seemed angry, right? Like he, I don't know, like he was saying, hey, no matter how big of a star you are, or no matter what your profession is, you should never feel like a prisoner in your own hometown, much less in your own home. And we all know how Elvis lived, you know, looking out the second story window at the people at the gate. We've heard stories about that. No telling how many times he stood there and looked and was like, man, I would just like to walk out of this gate without being mobbed to live a normal life. But at the same time, you know, the story goes, he walked down the street before the 68 comeback special and nobody recognized him. And he was like, you know, this has got to change. Like, I got to get back out there and start doing my thing. I'm sure there's plenty in here that I missed. It's just a really cool look from April of 1981. So almost 4 years after his death. Oh, the jumpsuits. Did you see all those jumpsuits? And how Jerry Schilling just picked it up and handed it to him like it's nothing. That guy, right? Bob Brown actually got to hold two of the jumpsuits. There's no telling what he did. Now, that's unheard of. You could not touch one of Elvis's jumpsuits on display at Graceland if you paid the people, right? So, just incredible. Of course, they had no idea back then what it would turn into and what it is now, right? I believe the valuation, even for 1979 standards, was really low. $500,000 for the house and the property, and $200,000 for the contents. $200,000 for all of Elvis's personal possessions. Get out of here. Anyway, I just want to thank everybody again for liking, subscribing, and commenting. I look forward to them down below. I want to thank my Patreon supporters one more time, and that's going to do it for today. So keep TCBing, and we'll see you next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.